Good morning. You're live. We are live. Hello, everyone. Thank you for being here, joining me for day 10 of the 10-minute portrait challenge. I'm very excited about today's muse, but I'm excited every day because we get to sketch so many incredible people, and I love being here together with you, drawing together. So thank you for joining me. If this is your first time watching a 10-minute portrait challenge video, the idea of this is we do quick loose sketches and just a regular practice, and the let go of your expectation, because it doesn't have to be a masterpiece in 10 minutes. It's like it's an opportunity to explore something, play around a bit. I've been having lots of fun with these pieces and love seeing your work. So wait a minute, where is it? Over here, you'll see these hashtags. If you're posting your work online, you can use those, and then we'll get to see each other's sketches. It'll be lots of fun. Yeah, we hang out and we draw together. So this is not instructional so much. It's just about taking the time to practice together. Hello, Anna, Tom, M, Astrid, Monica, Kitty, 81 Tizzle, Chris, Alexa. So great having you all here for this little lunch break sketching session. And if you're watching the replay, then thank you for watching the replay. I would equally love to see the work that you do and would love to hear from you. So let me know in the comments what you're sketching with, and we're going to get to it. I'm loving ink. Every day so far I've been working with ink. You can use whatever medium you like, and we'll get to it. And I'll show you this awesome reference. And I have a couple versions of the image here. So this is Maynard James Keenan of the band Tool, A Perfect Circle, Pussifer, and he grows wine and is practicing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu and makes food, and is just a generally prolific, creative, inspiring force of humanity, and someone who has inspired me a lot lyrically, and together with his bandmates, of course. The music that he's made in his 3 different bands is has been a wonderful companion for me in many phases of my life, and I really love his work. Ink and bamboo stick today, Alexa. That's awesome. Really cool. So I'm going to start with the pencil drawing, and then I'm going to ink into it. So I have this magenta pencil. And here's a closer crop of the reference, which, take note of the finger positioning here. I thought this was a bit of a cheeky, funny crop, but this could look like something different. But we all know he's showing 3 fingers. But I just thought we'll crop it in here, get a bit closer to the face, and it's a bit funny and cheeky. I'm going to focus on the face. I'm probably not going to draw that finger, but let's go for it. 10 minutes. And I'll put this over here so you will be able to see the countdown. Bam, 10 minutes. Now, let's draw. Thank you to everyone who joined the live stream last night. It was so great having so many people along for our conversation with Gris, who's also a prolific creative force in the world. The music and art, it was just really nice hanging out and talking together. And does anyone in the chat, are you familiar with Maynard James Keenan? Because some of the work that he's done has been very inspiring and really been with me in interesting stages of my life, and I know that his work has meant a lot to a lot of people. And a couple of years ago, I can't remember the name of it, but he has an interview biography, like semi-autobiography book, I guess. And I think it's called The Perfect Union of Contradictory Things. Just someone whose music I have listened to a lot. and of course it's always an effort of collaboration, and the way the music comes together with the musicians and the bands. His voice is like an instrument which is accompanying these other instruments, but just the sound of his voice is incredible, and the thought, the lyrical content is really interesting, thought-provoking, inspiring, and really amazing, basically. Something's going on a bit weird with this eye over here. There's so many wonderful, subtle shadow shapes in this image. When I saw it, I was really inspired and thought, I'm going to have to sketch this someday. It's really cool shapes in here. I had a summer, a European summer. It was before I met Kira, so maybe it was 2006. And the album 10,000 Days by Tool had come out, and I felt really it was at a time where I was kind of lost in Brussels. I had broken up with my girlfriend at the time, and kind of wondering, what am I doing in this continent? What's going on? Why am I here? And then I just spent weeks just walking through Brussels looking for work, not finding any, but the whole time just always listening to this album 10,000 Days, and it was like it was just incredible. And it was actually, looking back on it, quite an amazing kind of phase. Like, there was a lot of kind of, I guess, doubt and confusion and a lot of stuff going on, but then just spending every day walking the streets of the city and listening to this music was a really special time. With my Discman, my Sony Discman back in the day, with an actual physical CD. How's the picture looking? Hope it's good. Make it a little darker and you should be able to see it a bit better. So it was a really, really special time, which led on to, after that time of like doubt and what's going on, and trying to find work, and I don't speak French, so I can't find work. I had learnt Dutch, and then I don't know if that music played a role, but I ended up just not looking for work, giving up, and started hitchhiking around Europe. And it was really a liberating, magical time of my life. It was incredible, and 10,000 Days was like the soundtrack of that phase of my life. And a few days ago when we sketched PJ Harvey, and Barbara said that PJ Harvey had been really significant to her, and I felt like this tool was really powerful and important in not just the 10,000 Days phase, but throughout my different phases of my life. You know, there are different music that kind of accompanies different phases and times and events in our lives, and pretty interesting. All right, so we're 5.5 minutes in, and I like this drawing. I'm going to start putting some ink into it. What have I got on this paper? On this brush. I was working with it last night. See how we go. There are lots of cool, subtle things going on in the shadows. In the light, even just all of these different shapes and forms. There's so much to work with here. It's really nice. And I thought it was really interesting. I mentioned yesterday, as we were sketching Björk, that Björk has like gone towards. I don't know specifically at what stage it was that she started wearing masks, but I know early days when I first got to know Tool, that Maynard was kind of often in the background, and which is like not in focus. Like he's an incredible singer, but not the front man. Like often the singer is like the face of the band, and it seemed that interesting and mysterious that he chose to be like in the shadows in the background, and although a driving co-defining force within the band, like not the main event, which was really interesting. And I think in a lot of it seemed, at least at that time, before social media, before there was so much prevalence and easy access to people, and also like celebrities, it's been really interesting the way that like the internet landscape has changed the way that we perceive people who are perhaps creating important work, and the kind of direct access that we have or feel like we have to them, and what they choose to share. And so how I'm sure he still protects his private life and stuff, but it seems like the masks that have kind of been removed in some sense, that he seems more kind of open to, or I guess it's part of the like podcasts and this kind of accessibility to celebrity or whatever. It's just interesting the way things have changed. And now I've seen that he's also teaching Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so you can like go and learn Jiu-Jitsu from him in Verde Valley in Arizona if you're around there, which is pretty cool. All right, not much time left, and I'm trying to I want to drop some heavy shadow to really make some contrast. I just gotta check in on this brush, see how much ink is on here. So maybe it's not going to end up super dark, but oh yeah, that's pretty dark. Tomorrow is Saturday, and I'm not going to be doing the live stream at this time, but I'll be doing it in the evening, my time. So it'll be different on the weekends, spending time hanging out with my family, and we'll do the 10-minute portraits later in the day, in the evening. So if you're awake now but about to go to sleep, you'll be able to catch the replay. And for those of you who are catching the replays, because you're not able to make it at this time when we're live, you'll be able to maybe join live. That would be great. All right. This needs some more time, some more definition. That's our 10 minutes. But Claire so thankfully mentioned it's the at least 10-minute portrait challenge. So maybe just with a bit of so that's a pretty good foundation. And with the calligraphy pen, perhaps, hoping that things are dry enough. I'll just add a little bit of definition in a few areas that's gonna yeah, Tom, interested to hear Maynard's music now. It's a wild ride. It's pretty amazing. Tool was the first band that I heard, which is quite heavy and has really quite complex compositions. And I used to listen to metal, and I wouldn't really say that it's metal. Like some people say it's like progressive, like prog rock, metal kind of mixed together. Pussifer is really amazing, and has such a different vibe to Tool. And A Perfect Circle, like I remember towards the end of my high school time, like some friends got me onto Perfect Circle, which was really cool then. But the ones I have draw my main kind of inspiration and listen to a lot, and more so Tool and Pussifer, which are two very different bands. And I also think it's so fascinating that he, whatever projects he's involved in, they can be so different and diverse, whether it's growing grapes or making music, just the level of quality and clear intention, the power behind these projects that he's involved in. It's so interesting to see. And if you do get interested, there's as I mentioned, there's a really interesting book, the biography, because it's pretty incredible. Like when he was pretty young, he did military service, but if I remember correctly, he left the military to go to art school, and he spent some time just walking across America, and ended up in LA and wanted to get out of there, and pretty interesting. So quite a prolific, inspiring, creative character. So this has gone over 10 minutes for sure, but I could just keep going and keep going. And with this 10-minute challenge, like, I'm going to stop now, but so the idea is you can build upon this. This could be a starting point. If something happens within this and you start to see something emerging, because I practice this quick sketching a lot. So this is an opportunity, like whatever level of finish you're at, that maybe you discover something in this regular practice where it's like, oh, this is something I would like to pursue some more and try again. So you can just step away from it after 10 minutes and be like, okay, tomorrow I'm going to do another one and I'm going to try and focus on doing this or capturing that. Or if you do something within this 10 minutes and you feel like you want to keep going with it, then you can do that too. It's all up to you. Everything is up to you. You can do what you want. But thank you so much for joining me today, sketching one of my favorite musicians. Thank you to Maynard for your incredible creative output, a constant source of inspiration. Thank you to each of you for being here, drawing together. It's really lovely. Give me some thumbs up if you liked this, and I'd love you to leave a comment if you're watching this after the live, and let me know if you're familiar with Maynard's work, if you have any favorite music that he's created, and if you're sharing on social media, I'd love you to use these hashtags. I don't know if Maynard's going to see anything, but his Instagram is IamTheBriefcase, and you can use these hashtags, and then we'll all be able to see what you've done. And if you're sharing on Instagram to stories, you can tag me, and then I'll share it to my stories as well. That'd be really cool. My pleasure, Alexa. Thank you for being here. Tom, maybe it was a help for you getting over the crisis with my girlfriend. It was so much. It was so much because I was on the other side of the world, and I still am. I had come to Europe and I wanted to travel, and then I felt like, and I was like, do I go back to university in Australia? Is it time to go back to Australia? But I don't feel like I've finished my experience here. I'm still like, I haven't done it yet. I came here, but I'm not finished. Is it time to go? Is it time to stay? I don't have any money. I can't get any work. What's going on? What's going on? Whoa. And then this album came out, and I was just like, oh, whoa. And I really just, and I was moving. I was spending like 5 hours a day just walking through the city, or longer, and hanging out with friends, and just constantly listening to this music, and was just like, amidst the uncertainty of everything, was just like, wow. So yeah, the album 10,000 Days. If you're up for an adventure, go check that out. It's worth listening to the entire album, like in a dark room or as you're walking. It's amazing. I love it. Yeah, cool. Greece. Yeah. 81 Tizzle. Finish your drawing of Greece. I'd love to see where you take it. And see you tomorrow. It's going to be later in the day. And I hope you all have a wonderful weekend. Tom, my pleasure. You're very welcome. It's good to share and connect. And there are all these things that we go through, and it's beautiful to have things such as music and creativity that can give us like a focus, like a boat floating on the world of turbulence and uncertainty. So yeah, it's great to be able to share that together. Thanks for being here, and we'll see you next time.